Welcome to our Bedtime Stories series, where relaxation meets imagination, and every night offers a moment of calm and comfort. Life can often feel overwhelming, but here we invite you to slow down, unwind, and escape into a world of soothing narratives designed to quiet your mind and nurture your spirit. Each story is crafted with care, blending gentle themes of self-discovery, love, and hope, with tranquil settings that transport you far from the worries of the day. Whether you're seeking peace, inspiration, or simply a way to fall asleep, these bedtime stories are your safe haven, a nightly retreat where your heart and mind can rest. So, cozy up, close your eyes, and let the words carry you into a restful slumber. Sweet dreams await in the stories we share. Let's begin with a talk about mindfulness. This word gets tossed around so much these days, doesn't it? People tell us, be present, live in the moment. But when we're busy, the moment is the last place our minds want to stay. Our brains love to jump between past regrets, future worries, and everything on today's to-do list. But the beauty of mindfulness is that it doesn't need to be some grand, life-changing moment. It's not about achieving a perfect state of Zen. It's about noticing, just paying attention to the here and now, in the smallest ways. Right now, for example, let's listen to the music that is playing in the background. Feel the rhythm. Let it soothe your body and your mind. Think about your breathing. Feel the coolness as you inhale, the warmth as you exhale. It's so simple but powerful. Breathing grounds us, reminds us that we're here right now, in this exact moment. Each breath is a gift, a reminder that we're alive and exactly where we need to be. Rani was a young mother of two beautiful children, Arav and Mira, living in a small town in India. Her days were a routine of cooking, cleaning, and raising her children, but beneath the surface lay a harsh reality. Her husband, Ajay, who was once her childhood friend, had turned into someone she no longer recognized, a man with an unyielding temper, whose anger often left bruises both visible and invisible. For years, Rani bore the abuse in silence, convinced that enduring it was her duty as a wife and mother. One night, however, everything changed. During a particularly violent outburst, Rani's oldest child, Arav, shielded his younger sister from their father's wrath, saying, "Mama, let's leave. We don't have to live like this." Rani was taken aback. She had always thought she was protecting her children by staying, but she realized now that her silence was only teaching them to accept mistreatment. In that moment, she made a promise to her children and to herself. She would not let them grow up in fear. With just a small suitcase and a heart full of courage, Rani took her children and fled to a women's shelter in a nearby city. The journey was filled with uncertainty, but for the first time in years, she felt a glimmer of hope. At the shelter, she met women with stories similar to her own, and she found strength in their resilience. There, Rani learned skills in tailoring and embroidery, and with encouragement from the shelter staff, she began taking small tailoring orders from local customers. Her dedication paid off. Rani's talent for intricate embroidery quickly gained her attention, and her customer base grew. In just a few years, she saved enough money to open her own tailoring shop, which she named Arav and Mira Creations, in honor of her children. Her reputation spread, and soon her business was thriving. As her business grew, Rani became an advocate for other women who had faced domestic violence. She often returned to the shelter, offering workshops on financial independence and sharing her story to inspire others. She taught women not only to sew, but to sew their own paths to freedom, piece by piece, stitch by stitch. Years later, Rani had built an enterprise that employed several women from her community, giving them the same chance she had once been given. She was no longer defined by her past. Instead, she was a woman of courage, independence, and kindness, a mother who had created a safe, loving world for her children. Arav and Mira looked up to her with pride, knowing that their mother had turned her pain into strength and her fear into a legacy of hope. Rani's journey was far from easy, but her determination and love for her children led her from darkness to light. She often told others, "Our scars don't define us. They remind us of how far we've come." Mindfulness doesn't mean we have to push away our thoughts. It's more like welcoming them and letting them drift past, like leaves on a gentle stream. We're just observing, without needing to fix or change anything. Sometimes the act of just noticing is enough. Let's think of gratitude for a moment. Not the "I should be grateful" type, but the subtle, quiet gratitude we feel in those small, unexpected moments, like the warmth of a cozy blanket, a kind word from a friend, or the calm of a rainy night. These are the little gifts we often overlook. So tonight, let's keep it simple. Let's just say thank you. Thank you for this moment of peace, for the sound of the rain, for the breath we're taking right now. Gratitude is like the rain itself. It nourishes us, softens our hearts, and reminds us of everything beautiful in our lives, even on the quietest nights. And let's talk about letting go. We hear that phrase all the time, but no one really tells us how to actually let go. It's not about forcing ourselves to forget or pretending we don't care. It's about accepting that sometimes we don't have all the answers. Sometimes things won't make sense right away, and that's okay. Imagine letting go as allowing things to just be, without trying to change them. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. But if you just open your hand, the sand settles, just as it is. Tonight, let's do the same with our worries. Open our hands, release that grip, and let them drift away, like sand or raindrops falling gently to the ground. Let's think about self-compassion. We spend so much time showing compassion to others, our family, our friends, even strangers. But how often do we turn that kindness inward? How often do we speak to ourselves as gently as we would to a dear friend? Tonight, let's practice a little kindness toward ourselves. Imagine your thoughts as soft whispers, kind and gentle, full of warmth and understanding. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to have it all together. We're allowed to make mistakes, to change, to grow at our own pace. Give yourself permission to just be, without judgment, without pressure, like the rain that falls without needing to be anything other than rain. Let yourself be exactly as you are in this moment, perfectly imperfect, whole just as you are. Lakshmi was born and raised in a small, sun-baked village in Tamil Nadu, surrounded by fields of rice paddies and coconut groves. She was the eldest of 5 siblings, and from an early age she knew hardship like it was her closest companion. Poverty wove itself into every aspect of her life, from the cracked mud floors of her home to the thin saris she wore as she helped her mother gather firewood or sold vegetables in the local market. At the age of 16, Lakshmi was married to a man who, while kind, also struggled financially. Over the years, they had 5 children, each one bringing both joy and new challenges. Every day was a battle for survival, and yet Lakshmi always wore a smile. Her hands, rough from hard work, held her children close, and her spirit was never crushed. One fateful day, while cleaning the house, Lakshmi stumbled upon an old, half-burnt newspaper article her husband had used to wrap some food. The article spoke of a government program offering small business loans to rural women. A spark ignited within her. She'd heard of other women in nearby villages who had changed their lives through similar programs, And for the first time, Lakshmi allowed herself to dream of something different, a life where her children wouldn't have to choose between school and work, where they wouldn't sleep with empty stomachs. With determination in her heart, Lakshmi traveled to the nearest town and applied for the loan. She wanted to start a small business selling traditional Dravidian handicrafts, a skill her grandmother had taught her. However, the process wasn't easy. She faced doubt and discouragement from others who saw her dreams as mere fantasies, but Lakshmi persisted. After weeks of waiting, her application was approved, and she took her first step toward financial independence. Lakshmi threw herself into her work, weaving beautiful baskets, creating intricate column designs on canvas, and stitching fabric with colors that reflected the vibrancy of her heritage. Her products quickly gained attention, and soon she was selling to shops in nearby towns. With the money she earned, she invested in better materials, eventually expanding her business to include other women from her village, giving them an opportunity to earn and support their families too. As her business grew, so did her confidence. She became a community leader, teaching other women about financial independence and offering them jobs. Her children watched her transformation, inspired by her strength and resilience. Lakshmi sent her oldest son to college and saw her daughters excel in school. Every achievement was a reminder of how far she'd come. Years later, Lakshmi stood in a brightly lit conference room in Chennai, accepting an award as a successful entrepreneur who had not only lifted her own family out of poverty, but had also changed the lives of many others in her village. She spoke to the audience, her voice filled with emotion and gratitude. "I am not just Lakshmi, a mother or a wife. I am the strength of my ancestors, the hope of my children, and the promise of a better tomorrow." Lakshmi's journey from poverty to success was a testament to the unyielding power of determination. She was a symbol of resilience, a reminder that with courage, even the most impossible dreams can come true. Mindfulness is also about appreciating the simple joys in life. We don't always need grand gestures or big moments to find happiness. Sometimes it's as simple as the first sip of coffee in the morning, the softness of fresh sheets, or the feeling of the sun on our skin. Life is made up of these tiny, fleeting moments, like raindrops on a window. They pass by so quickly, but when we slow down and notice, they add up to something beautiful. Tonight, let's honor the little things, the quiet moments that bring us peace, the rain, the stillness, the gift of being here, right now. Once upon a time, in the heart of a small village in northern India, there lived the Sharma family, an Indo-Aryan family of 8 who knew hardship all too well. For generations, their ancestors had tilled the land, scraping by with barely enough to feed themselves. Their home was a modest 2-room house, and their meals often consisted of little more than rice and dal. But the Sharmas had something that money couldn't buy, a spirit of unity and a deep-rooted belief in lifting one another up, no matter how dire the circumstances. The parents, Asha and Ramesh, had 6 children, 4 sons and 2 daughters. Education was considered a luxury in their village, but Ramesh, despite having only a basic schooling, believed it held the key to changing their destiny. He often said, "We might not have riches to give you, but we can give you knowledge, which no one can ever take away." With this vision, Ramesh and Asha worked tirelessly. He labored in the fields during the day, while Asha stitched clothes at night for extra income. Together they saved every rupee, hoping to send their children to school. Life was never easy for the Sharma children. They studied under dim candlelight, sharing tattered books and dreaming of a life beyond the struggles they knew. Their dreams kept them going through sleepless nights, empty stomachs, and relentless work. After years of effort, the eldest son, Vijay, excelled in his studies and received a scholarship to study in the city. He was the first in their family to achieve such a feat, sparking hope in the hearts of his younger siblings and neighbors alike. With Vijay's education, he was able to secure a job, sending a portion of his earnings back to his family. The Sharma's lives began to change slowly but surely. Inspired by his brother's determination, the second eldest son, Raj, pursued a career in finance, while their younger sister, Meera, dreamed of becoming a social worker to help uplift women in their village. Together, the siblings rose from the shadows of poverty, each finding their way and gradually pulling their family into a brighter future. As they prospered, the Sharmas felt a call to give back. They had once walked in the shoes of those around them, and they knew the struggles that poverty brought. Together they pooled their resources and established a foundation to support underprivileged families in their village. Their foundation provided educational scholarships, microloans for small business ventures, and community workshops on health and wellness. Ramesh and Asha's dream had become a reality, not just for their children, but for countless other families who benefited from the Sharma's work. The village, once steeped in hardship, became a place of opportunity and growth. As Ramesh looked around at the bustling village market, now filled with local artisans and small businesses, he felt immense pride. The Sharma family had risen from the ashes of poverty, transforming their lives and, in turn, their community. In doing so, they became a beacon of hope for those around them, proving that no matter how humble the beginnings, a family united by love and purpose can overcome any obstacle. And finally, let's think about hope. Hope is a little like the rain. Sometimes it comes in storms, other times in gentle showers. But it's always there, nourishing us, helping us grow, even when we can't see it. Hope reminds us that no matter how tough things get, there's always a new day waiting on the other side. So tonight, let's let the rain remind us of hope. Let it wash over us, bring us comfort, and remind us that tomorrow is a new day, full of possibilities. Whatever challenges we face, whatever dreams we're chasing, we have the strength to see them through. We are resilient, we are enough. So let's drift off now, holding on to that feeling of calm, of hope, of peace. Let the rain carry you into the sweetest, deepest sleep, knowing that tomorrow will bring new light, new strength, and new beginnings. Good night and sweet dreams. I'll see you next time.